Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to WHEI News Center 10 live at 5.
Tonight's program is brought to you by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
News Center 10 live at 5 is bringing you the latest news around the state, around Tiffin, and around the Burg.
Be sure to stay tuned in as well tonight for our social spotlight as we check the pulse of Burg students and find out what they're thinking about on the hottest topics.
Coming up, find out what a convicted shooter received from a judge other than a sentence.
And also get a more personal look into the rising Syrian refugee crisis.
We'll also catch up on social media trends
and check out the latest news in Heidelberg sports.
Remote
WHEI News Center 10 live at 5 starts now.
Good evening, Tiffin, and welcome to WHEI News Center 10 live at 5 for Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. I'm Bailey Mabin.
And I'm Elizabeth Wren. Let's get to our first story of the night.
With the intake of Syrian refugees in the U.S. being held under a microscope, a family of 9 in Hamilton County was kind enough to share a bit of their home and new lives with the community. The Almood family, consisting of 7 children, were the first Syrian family to resettle from their home in Homs to Hamilton County, Cincinnati. Like most loving families, the Almoods were only concerned with building a better home and future for their children in the States, until terrorist attacks in Paris caused most resettlement programs to freeze under suspicion. Despite the unmistakably paranoid attitudes surrounding welcoming Syrian refugees into the nation, the Almoods just want to continue working and learning English and making sure their children get good schooling, even if they're only interested in riding bikes and making friends, like most kids.
On Tuesday, a 10-person plane burst into flames after it crashed into a large family home in Akron. According to USA Today, 9 passengers, including both the pilot and co-pilot, boarded a Hawker H-25 aircraft and departed from the Lunken Airport to Cincinnati, headed for Dayton, until the small plane pitched down into Akron. The authorities are not disclosing the identities of the passengers, other than the fact that they were all employees of a Florida-based real estate company. Lieutenant Bill Haymaker of the Ohio State Highway Patrol explained during a news conference earlier today that the plane was flying at a low altitude and made contact with some utility wires before it crashed into the building, killing all 9 passengers. In addition to obtaining the cockpit's black box recorder, the National Transportation Safety Board is currently investigating what could have caused the accident, citing air traffic and in-flight control, any pre-flight maintenance that was performed on the plane, and even weather that would have affected typical operations as possible sources. Fortunately, there were no residents in the building that the plane crashed into. However, the community is rocked and saddened by this tragedy, and PEB Enterprises, the company for which the victims worked, released a statement treating the public for only condolences and privacy for the families of the deceased. When 18-year-old Darion McNair was brought before Judge Myron Duhart in the Lucas County Common Pleas Court for shooting and attempting to rob 2 people, he most likely did not expect to receive a harsh lesson in young promise in addition to his sentence. This past May 4th, when Darion was just 17, he and 2 other young males attempted to rob a motorist named David Snyder and a passenger who lunged at the perpetrators, resulting in Darion firing a semi-automatic pistol, striking Snyder in the chest. No more than 20 minutes later, Darion and his comrades found themselves only just 4 blocks over, again attempting to rob an unsuspecting Trevor Plumador, who sustained a gunshot wound to the arm, also fired by McNair. According to the Toledo Blade, a recess was called just before a 15-year sentence for 2 counts of felonious assault with a concealed weapon was handed, after which Judge Duhart shared some tough words with Darion. Quote, "Mr. McNair, as you stand here today, you are the epitome of the statistic of young men who look like you, who throw their lives away unnecessarily, for no reason at all, and that bothers me. It bothers me greatly. The judge expressed his disappointment and sadness that the current plight of black men like himself and the defendant is not being raised by lawlessness and violence that hinders the progress of promising African Americans and other people of color. After the sentence was issued, McNair reportedly apologized to the court and the victims' families, saying that he was, quote, deeply, sincerely sorry for causing harm.
As Thanksgiving holiday is right around the corner, local departments throughout Tiffin are getting ready for the festive season. The Advertiser-Tribune managed to capture a snapshot of local electrician Mike Shannon, who was decorating a light pole with pine garlands and lights. On Tuesday afternoon, Mike and other fellow working elves decorated roughly 60 light poles around downtown Tiffin, among a multitude of local businesses who are prepping for upcoming holiday shoppers. If you didn't notice them on Tuesday, step outside along Washington and Market Streets to catch a glimpse of the starting of holiday decorations. That wraps up our local news segment for the day.
But don't go anywhere because we'll have your biggest campus stories on the other side of these short messages.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
We got adopted. Over the years, I came to know the full story of what really happened. She had us when she was 17. The way she saw things going, it wasn't a good environment to raise a kid. The fact that she did that just shows how strong of a woman my mother is, and I thank her each and every day for it, or I wouldn't be the person who I am today. And I like the person I am today. I knew I was loved and I was part of a family, so that was what's important to me. I'm Christoph.
And I'm Christopher.
And our mom chose adoption.
When depression meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who's struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
If only cars could talk, what would they say about their owners?
So, I guess the love affair is over?
What do you mean?
Well, he must be looking to get rid of you if he left you unlocked with the keys in the ignition.
He still cares. He's just thoughtless sometimes.
Leaving the keys in an unlocked beauty like you, that's an open invitation.
Oh! Who's this guy? Keep your hands to yourself, fella.
It was nice talking to you.
The easiest way to have your car stolen today? Leave it unlocked with the keys inside. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Welcome back to News Center 10, live at 5.
Let's get started on our Heidelberg campus news segment. Interested in seeing some new theater work? Well, you're in luck, because this week from November 19th to November 22nd, the School of Music and Theater will be putting on the New Works Festival. Be sure to come down to Gunlock Theater this Friday and Saturday for WHEI's very own Dan Klisch as he debuts an original work that he wrote and directed throughout the semester. All performances are 7:30 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, and Sunday's performance is at 2 p.m.
This weekend, not only is Heidelberg hosting a world-class artist, but presenting this performance for free for all Heidelberg students. Israeli pianist Baruch Meyer will be performing in Old Concert Hall this Saturday at 7 p.m. He has performed in concerts all over the world with some major orchestras. Baruch Meyer currently runs an international piano competition in addition to holding a faculty position at Arizona State University.
So do you have any exciting plans for this weekend?
This weekend, I am actually in Chicago with one of my classes, exploring the city and seeing what the big city is all about.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds fun. I'll tell you how this weekend goes.
Yeah, keep me updated.
That's all we have for Berg's campus news today. We'll get into all the latest stories and news from the social media world next.
News Center 10, live at 5. We'll be right back.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
It's here. Fireside Cafe Pub's very own Heidelberger is making a scene. This juicy, succulent sandwich is waiting for you on Thursday nights at the Fireside Cafe Pub in honor of the Mike Hallett Show. Purchase a Heidelberger on Thursday from 6 to 9 p.m. to receive fries and drink for free. Oh yeah, a combo meal for free. All you have to do is purchase the Heidelberger at the Fireside Cafe Pub on Thursday between 6 and 9 p.m. Come on down to the Fireside Cafe and Pub and get your Heidelberger now, because Coach Hallett said so.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find at smartaboutmoney.org. Smart About Money is a free online resource. We are a non-commercial, non-profit organization dedicated to helping people just like you get information about money. For everything from how to build an emergency fund to how to deal with job uncertainty, smartaboutmoney.org has the answers you've been looking for. Smartaboutmoney.org, the easy place to start when you want to get smart about your finances.
I thought everything would go back to how it used to be. But that wasn't realistic for him. Or our family. Make the Connection helped me realize that we are not alone. Other families are dealing with similar challenges and working toward the right solutions together. Visit maketheconnection.net to see stories like ours and learn how your family can start the journey toward recovery today.
Hello and welcome to our Social Spotlight segment. Let's check out what's trending today in the world of social media. People's Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive was unveiled last night on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and it's David Beckham. The 40-year-old professional soccer star David has actually never received this title before and said, quote, "I never feel that I'm an attractive, sexy person. I mean, I like to wear nice clothes and nice suits and look and feel good, but I don't ever think of myself that way." Beckham told People that he admittedly had a little fun with his wife, former pop star Victoria Beckham, and their kids when he found out, saying, quote, "We kind of laughed about it with the boys, and the boys kind of laughed at me and said, 'Really? Sexiest man alive? Really?' Let's not pretend to act too shocked there, Beckham. Even modesty wears well." And in other shocking entertainment news, another reason for Zayn Malik's exit from One Direction was recently revealed. Malik, a former member of the international boy band, spoke about being in the group in an interview with The Fader, saying that one of his biggest issues with 1D is that he, quote, "wasn't 100% behind the music. It wasn't me. It was music that was already given to us," close quote. He reportedly couldn't have any input with these songs, and it was just that he didn't like hearing it either, stating when asked, "Would you listen to 1D with your girl at a party?" he said, "No, I wouldn't. To me, that's not an insult. Because a 22-year-old man, I don't want to listen to that. I want to listen to cool stuff." All right, and from Zayn Malik to our last Scotty C of the year.
And you're in Campus Social Time with Scotty C.
All right, and just as we did last week, we're going to be talking the college football playoff this time around in the Scotty C. And this is the last one, so we'll set the picture for you for the entire rest of the year. Let's go over the top 4 teams that are in the playoffs right now. Starting at number 1, it remains Clemson. At number 2 stays Alabama, and 3 and 4 belong to Ohio State and Notre Dame, with 5 and 6 being Iowa and Oklahoma State. In other news, the Pac-12 is completely out of a chance to reach the playoffs now, as Stanford had lost to Oregon last week, and that will eliminate the Pac-12's chance of reaching the college football playoff. So games to watch this week. These are make-or-break games for all of these teams and their chances to be in the playoffs. It's number 10 Baylor versus number 6 Oklahoma State. Baylor just had that loss last week against Oklahoma, and Oklahoma, riding high off of that win, will go to play TCU, who is currently struggling off of their last loss in a game they weren't supposed to lose. And the one we're highlighting this week, it is the game of the week. Number 9, Michigan State Spartans will come to Columbus, Ohio to face the Ohio State Buckeyes. That game proves that Michigan State could still have a chance or make the way for Ohio State to get into the Big Ten Championship. So the top 4, I'm going to give you my top 4 right now going into the college football playoff. What I think it will be at the end of the season, I have Clemson in no particular order, Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, and Oklahoma. That's my top 4 playoff teams, and I think I can speak for everybody at WHEI that I think we want to see another Ohio State championship. OH! Yeah, absolutely. All right, and I'd like to thank everybody who's been involved on the Scotty C social segments this semester, including everybody at WHEI TV 10, and a special thank you to my producer, Laura Beta. We'll catch you next semester, Heidelberg, and until then, let's throw it back to the news desk with Elizabeth and Bailey.
Thanks, Scott. So 2 cute men in those stories, 3 if you include Scott, right?
Yeah. Let's throw it over to another cutie for sports.
Well, thank you. I know I am quite the charming guy. The Heidelberg University football team wrapped up their 2015 campaign with a 44-31 loss to Baldwin-Wallace University this past Saturday. The Student Princes end their season at 5-5 overall and 5-4 in the OAC. This year's senior class tied for 3rd all-time with most wins for a class in Heidelberg history with a 30-11 record. Sophomore Tyler Stoyle was 23 for 38 for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Stoyle finished the season with 2,011 yards, which ranks 3rd in the conference, and 25 touchdowns, which is good for 2nd most in the OAC. With the season over, the Berg will prepare for finals, which is right after the Thanksgiving break. The All-OAC teams and other postseason accolades will be announced in the coming weeks. For the 2nd consecutive season, Sarah Parker is an All-American. The junior earned AVCA All-America Honorable Mention honors for the 2nd time in her career, becoming the 5th student prince to receive multiple All-American nods in their time at the Berg. The accolade adds on to her list of postseason awards, as Parker was first team All-Great Lakes region and was named OAC Player of the Year. Parker wrapped up her 2015 season with 463 kills, which is the 4th most in a single season in Heidelberg history. Her 3.8 to 3 kills per set ranks 7th in the record books, while her hitting percentage of .329 is the 7th best in school history as well. Parker led the OAC in each of these statistical categories, while also ranking 4th in total blocks with 94. She has racked up 1,269 kills over the course of her 3 years at Heidelberg and already ranks 4th in school history with 1 season remaining. Parker helped lead the Berg to the OAC regular season and tournament championship as they finished the year with a 27-7 record. The Student Princes made their 7th appearance in the NCAA tournament in school history and advanced to the regional semifinal for the 5th time. That's all we have for your Heidelberg Sports Report tonight. Let's send it back to the news desk with Bailey and Elizabeth.
Thanks, Henry. So Sarah Parker's accomplished a lot this year. She has a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, congrats on behalf of everyone here at WHEI. When we return, find out some secrets from POTUS.
Myth. Lightning never strikes the same spot twice. Fact. It strikes the Empire State Building about 25 times a year. Myth. Bats are blind. Fact. They see as well as you and I. Myth. Sending goods is the best aid to disaster victims. Fact. Cash is best. After shipping, a case of water costs about $196. That can buy 10 gallons of water. Cash sent is help received. You have a big heart. Use it for smart compassion.
I've been at the MCC since my freshman year. I came in with a friend randomly. He had to come in and fix something, and then I went in with him, and I just kind of never left. We do the news, so I'd write for it or do talent, being on camera, work on for the cameras. But it's awesome. You meet a bunch of people. I think being at the MCC changed my view of involvement and how I want to get out there and what I want to do. Coming in, I wasn't very ambitious, or I had no idea what I wanted to do, and then the MCC was the first organization or really thing that I got involved with. You're just constantly interacting with your peers and people from outside the school, inside the school. Great to know that you have the faculty there and that they play such an active role in my future. I think that's awesome.
You're watching WHEI TV 10.
Student programming from the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Hi, welcome back to our WHEI News Center 10 live at 5.
Let's get to the last story of the night.
President Obama has been named the GQ Man of the Year, and in the magazine admitted that the secret stuff you learn when reaching the highest level of government is actually not all that impressive.
He said, quote, "People always ask me about Roswell and the aliens and UFOs, and it turns out the stuff going on that's top secret isn't nearly as exciting as you'd expect. In this day and age, it's not as top secret as you'd think."
Now, that interview rang a bell with something actor and musical artist Jaden Smith claimed 2 years ago back in the same magazine.
The young Smith said, quote, "I talked to President Obama about extraterrestrials. He said he could neither confirm nor deny their existence of aliens, which means they're real."
Do you believe in aliens?
You know, I think it's really crazy that we would be the only life form in the rest of this entire universe and whatnot. So I don't know what I believe is out there. I don't know if there's green little men that we see on movies, but I think there's something.
Definitely something. Thank you for watching WHEI News Center 10 live at 5. Our program tonight was produced and presented by the Department of Communication and Media from inside the Media Communication Center at Heidelberg University.
Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Be sure to tune in for tomorrow for our next and last show of the semester.
I'm Bailey Maven.
And I'm Elizabeth Wren.
And for Henry and Scott and all of the WHEI production crew, we thank you for watching.